Okay, the HIV cases down here in Jamaica is rapid among men. Men are getting infected by HIV more so than women. Now, let's look at the science of this. Who's more easily infected? The man, the male, or the female? The female. Why? Because the HIV virus is very, very small. It's a very tiny thing, microscopic, extreme small. So any kind of break or rupture in the female's vagina is a great big opening for it to slide into her bloodstream. And being that the HIV virus is found in semen and blood, then during intercourse, yes, it will rupture her vagina, break her vagina open, and it will slide inside her vagina. So typically, women are easily more susceptible to getting infected by this virus, HIV. But down here in Jamaica, it's more rampant among men. Men over about 50 years old and bisexual men. Now, bisexual men say, I know as soon as someone say bisexual, oh God, I'm mind business in this. Well, you can scroll. Because what saved the United States from people dying rampantly in the early 1975 through the early 80s was education. And down here in Jamaica, education about HIV is not knowledgeable because people don't take the time to see what's going on. But people here in Jamaica are infected by the boatload. I mean, in some Salvador, what they call that, in certain country towns where it's small, but the population is completely ravished. It's ravished with HIV, AIDS. You know what I mean? And that's because the women don't know that a lot of the men down here are bisexual and gay. And that is the reason why the HIV is rampant among men down here. Because the way women are women are normally infected is the very same way among men. But men more so because they have sex in a very unseemly way, what is unnatural, and therefore, they're infected. Well, these men now are bisexual. These same men that have sex with each other also have sex with women, Jamaican women. Don't be squeamish when you hear education about HIV/AIDS. What you ought to do is pay attention and make sure you strap it up every single time because these guys among them will know that they're sick and still lay down with you. I'm talking about these same bisexual men that have sex with male, that have sex with women. They'll know that something is wrong with them because if you HIV positive, you know. Now, these are signs that you should look out for, Jamaican women. Listen, if you lie down with a man and you notice that his side of the bed is extremely wet with something that is called a cold sweat in the nighttime, I don't care how hot it is or how cold, his body's gonna sweat profusely. Wet up the sheets. If you notice that, you line up on him and he's sweating like a pig, something is wrong. If he got what you call a periodically dry cough or a persistent dry cough, it just come on suddenly, too frequently. You notice him coughing. Oh, Brenda, I'm gonna call you, baby. Something is truly wrong with him. If the guy have, you see how these pretty gums of mine? You see these gums? See the healthy pink? That's a healthy pink gums. If his gums is puffed, puffed up with blood, and you touch it and you see the blood serum down his teeth, that's a sign. Reason being, because HIV/AIDS break down the immune system in a person's body, and the mouth is always can have germs in it. So because it cannot fight off the germs what a healthy person does, then it builds up something called gingivitis, rashes, rashes that break out all over the body, in the face. Sometimes it's like three little bumps in one spot. It comes out, it dries up, and leave a little ring around the sores. But inside the middle of it is black. That's what you call AIDS sores, or what they call lesions. You have to pay attention to these men. Sometimes their tongue is infected with a lot of bumps. Rapid loss of weight, eyes sunk in the head, and cold all the time. Don't care how hot it is, he's shivering. These are signs that something is wrong with your guy. And if you get infected and you have the flu, I'm talking about when you get infected, you after about 2 weeks after you're infected, you're gonna come down with the flu. So if you see this guy's dry cough and got all these symptoms, and you pop up with something flu-like symptoms, sis, something is truly wrong with you. Yeah. And another thing, women down here in Jamaica, they gives it up like Santa Claus bring gifts. I'm telling you that they do. They bring it, they give it up like Santa Claus give gifts on Christmas every night. You know, the Santa Claus is not real. It's just a thing that I'm saying. Because Santa Claus give up that stuff like free gift. But if you got some money down here, you're gonna pay for it. That sister gonna give it away. And if the man paying some money and he do not want to put on a condom and he give her a considerable amount of money, she'll go. Go means she will allow him to insert her with his sexual organ. And I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, sis, you will get infected with HIV/AIDS. Because these brothers down here are down on the down low, bisexual men. Now you might say, how you know? I can't go nowhere on the jobs, in the street, but you see these men, they give you this gay stare. They just look at, it might be across the hall, across the street, somewhere, and it's just this. They looking at you, like, then they want you to know they're gay. So they come too close sometimes. I'll be like, and I'm very vocal. I will say, hey man, back up. Watch out, man. Don't do that. I will do it. But it's just going on too frequently. It is infested down here. So okay, you could take this as you gotta eat it or whatever. But if I was you, I would take heed to this because this is something that's not talked about often enough. And the HIV/AIDS is not supposed to be rampant down so much down here in this country because HIV came about in the early 80s and it was dealt with. And we don't have the medicine that's in these foreign countries. The one a day, it rarely works because it's generic. And you see somebody vomiting and having diarrhea in the runs and he's sick, something is wrong with him. Something is wrong with him. All right. Stay healthy.